man, I hope the people at Cloverworks are doing okay. They have technically 3 shows this season, one of which is doing amazingly, and that's Wonder Egg Priority. They have the sequel to Promise Neverland, which I'm sure is going to be fantastic. I haven't got to it yet. No spoilers. And then we have Horimiya, which is a new series that I have not seen anything on before that is turning out to be really positive as well. So either I hope they had some stuff pre-done before this season started, or they have a lot of extra, some another studio that's helping them, or they got extra hands. But yeah, I'm super excited about what they provided this season so far, and Horimiya is actually turning out to be another one of those. This is my first impressions on the series. I've watched 3 episodes of it so far, and it basically follows a guy named Izumi Miyamura, which actually technically it follows a girl named Kyoko Hori. And Kyoko Hori she seems pretty popular in her class, and she seems to leave early from school every day in order to pick up her little brother, and take him home and take care of the house because her mother's working. And at some point, her little brother shows up at her front door, and a guy had brought him home because he fell and hurt himself. And she doesn't recognize the boy. And then at some point he mentions, we're in the same class. And she's like, "Wait, who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Izumi." And she's like, "Oh wait, you're that guy." And basically what it is, in school, he is this guy with just long hair drooping down, covering his face and everything, and he doesn't really socialize with anybody. He's kind of like a social outcast in his school. But the one that's in front of her now at home is this guy with his hair's up. He's got all these piercings and earrings, and yeah, just seems a lot different. And this kind of shocks her, obviously. And through some time, she kind of uses her little brother as an excuse to have him come over and visit again, because this Izumi and her little brother kind of hit it off. She keeps using her little brother as an excuse to bring him to the house and hanging out and talking and stuff. And he would bring cakes from his little cake shop because his family owns a cake shop. And over time, what kind of gets established is a kind of a relationship of both of them seeing a side that nobody else knows. She's seeing the side of him, which is, he's actually pretty social. He's pretty cool to talk to. He's got this almost, it seems like a dangerous side with the earrings and everything, but obviously he's not really that bad of a person. And on the other hand, he's getting to see a different side of this girl that's pretty popular in her class. She's kind of, instead of, having her hair done and all this stuff, she's more casual outfit, has her hair up, and, talks a little more casually. And so they get to see this side of each other that nobody else gets to see. And it kind of established this little secret relationship that it seems to be building over time, even though, they don't want to admit it. It seems like they admit it in the 3rd episode, but they never acknowledge it again after that. So I'm not quite getting that whole thing, but I'm guessing we'll just leave it to the whole, misconstruing them saying they like something, but they were actually saying they like each other, but they don't really say that. So anyways, yeah, and as that kind of slowly progresses, people start realizing that Hori is talking to Miyamura at school more often, and other people are trying to learn about him. And there's a guy that really likes Hori, and he's kind of wondering if they're going out on dating or not. And that kind of stuff slowly progresses as people are, he's getting pulled into the social groups that she's in, and people are learning more about him and this possible other side of him, which is a little differently. And then you get a little bit of backstory of Miyamura. You find out the reason why he kind of socially isolates himself is because growing up, he was never kind of included in the groups. He was often bullied. Nobody wanted to include him into their, pairing ups with school classwork and stuff like that. And he would often just run off and do his own thing. And that was his whole thing with getting the piercings and changing his appearance. And the reason why he looks so scraggy is because he's covering up his piercings. He doesn't do PE stuff because he's got tattoos. So he's got a weird side to him that nobody really knows about because he's just been socially isolated himself so long. So I'm curious to see how that stuff kind of translates over time. So far, it seems like Toru, which is the guy that liked Hori, has learned quite a bit about Miyamura and his ability to fight, at least. one of the other girls, Yoshikawa, she kind of caught a quick glance of Miyamura as he kind of ran by, changing his appearance, and so I'm sure she'll probably get a clue here soon as well. But it's been sweet so far, and I think that's the main key thing. Is it's another one of those kind of it's more in the comedy section of the rom-coms, but it's another kind of solid possible romance show that I think I will enjoy. It seems like it's progressing their relationship pretty quickly. Like I said, it technically had a confession in the third episode, but they're not really technically acknowledging it. So it seems like they're either going to dabble in it or they possibly could push the relationship forward, which is, always refreshing versus the will they, won't they scenario that anime likes to propose so often. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Really liking the character so far. I think Hori is really sweet. It's not too melodramatic, and that's a good thing as well. Often with these romance rom-coms type shows, when they try to push more into the romance section, the drama starts pushing up way too much. And they've already kind of had a few situations that happened already that could have been very melodramatic, and they chose not to. One, namely, was that the guy that liked Hori confessed to her, and in doing so, he kind of spilled the beans that Miyamura thought that they were just friends, and that, she didn't really like him, and that she was actually taking pity on him to hang out with him. And that frustrated her, obviously, because they've been hanging out with each other after school so much that she felt she had a bond with him. And that kind of was opposite to what she thought that he felt. So, and it was in a very short scene. She had her outburst, not her really her outburst, but she vented her frustrations, and then it kind of just moved on from there. So, thankfully, I don't think it's going to get too melodramatic. It's been very sweet so far, so I'm looking forward to more of it. But as it stands now, it's been a pretty solid rom-com for the season. Hopefully, a pretty solid romance, but we'll see. We'll just see how far they get, and if they will just remain, won't they, or will they actually commit to something? But we'll have to see. It was kind of nice to see one of the other girls was asking Hori if she was dating him, and she's like, no, I'm not. No, we're not doing anything. She's like, well, then can I have him then? And she's like, no, you can't have him. And I was like, whoa, okay, here we go. The fangs have been bared. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, that's my impressions on Horimiya. Definitely a solid show for the season. Hopefully we'll continue to get better. And hope you guys enjoyed this impressions on it. Definitely, if you liked it, give us a like button and subscribe, please, if you can. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And y'all take care.